Welcome to the FastOpp Intermediate course based on FastAPI and some other AI technologies. This is the Country Store Module 2, where we'll be focusing on this more intermediate concept of human plus AI workflow. We'll be connecting to a large language model using an API, and we'll also be connecting to a database, an SQL database, which is the most common type of database used by businesses. We have a human in the loop. So instead of the LLM directly writing to the database or pulling from the database, we have a human in the loop to make sure the quality of the content that we're creating is good enough for other humans to consume. This course is based on learning by doing. You're first going to learn some techniques. You'll be able to generate a product description using LLM, and this is a very flexible type of educational content where you can take, instead of just a product description, you can produce a report or anything else with the same technique. We're going to store multiple versions of the content developed by the AI into a database so a human can review past versions. There is a approval workflow with a junior staff and a more senior staff in a two-stage human approval workflow. We'll also manage version control and publishing, whether the content from the AI and approved by humans is ready for the actual publishing on a fake store here. By building this application, you'll also learn key concepts of AI application development. Human in the loop is a very critical piece of the AI workflow puzzle right now. The humans have to approve the work that's done by the AI, and you have to create a smooth workflow that optimizes both the human and the AI. You'll be able to integrate with an LLM, a large language model using an API. You call the LLM, you'll get the response, and you process the response, which could be in different formats. You'll learn about application architecture. This course follows a model view service architecture, which is pretty common, and it's pretty similar to model view control or other variants of this that you're probably already familiar with. And if not, you'll get your first taste of an architecture called model view service. You'll also touch on database design. When you design the database, this means you create a class, which you're calling a model, and then there's different relationships for versioning and state management of the different pieces of content stored in the database. By connecting your knowledge of how humans, database, and LLM interact, by building a real world business workflow, you can then apply the same type of workflow to other business problems and create your own solution from your own imagination. The basic process that we'll be covering is a junior staff will generate the descriptions with the AI, will save them into the database as drafts. A more senior person will then review the draft created by the junior staff and the AI, will approve it through a UI interface, and then publish it to this fictional store that we're creating so that other humans can then buy the products and make some money. The descriptions, which is the content generated by the AI, they're editable throughout each stage of the workflow. This course is 100% free. There's no catch. We're just trying to get feedback on the open source project that the course uses. But are you ready? There is a beginner course prior to this that I suggest that you take. If you want to dive into this course directly, you must have the following. You should be able to understand Python and FastAPI, which FastOpp is based on. You should have some familiarity with SQL databases. You should know what a migration to an SQL database is. You should know how to create the migration and upgrade it. You should know HTML and CSS. You can build a web page. We're using a design stack based on Tailwind CSS, which is controversial and it's not the mainstream use of CSS. We're using HTMX, which is also not the mainstream use of HTML and JavaScript, as well as a JavaScript package for interactivity called Alpine.js. After completing this beginner module, the project will already be set up with LLM integration. You can jump through the first 9 steps and enter at step 10. So part 10 of the tutorial, where this intermediate course takes off. So you could download the code for the first 9 that's already been completed and jump to step 10 if you do want to. So it's optional to go through module 1, the beginner course, although it's recommended. Both this course, the intermediate course, and the beginner course are 100% free. There's also optional free directed instruction. Again, we're not trying to make money from this. We're using this to get feedback for the open source project. And we do use that open source project in our business, and that's how we do make money. The focus of this course is to solve business problems using a flexible strategy. The flexible strategy we're following is that there is a workflow status. So when the AI generates a piece of content, we're going to track the status of it as draft, pending, approved, or published to a public store. It's a fake store in this case. And there are multiple versions of the AI generated content. So you can go back, maybe one description was more popular for this product. And so you want to go back in time and look at an earlier version of what the AI has created for you or you created with the AI. We're also going to ensure that only one version of the description, the AI generated content, can be published at one time. So it's one piece per product, which is obvious. We just have to set up the application to check for these type of things. Both of these courses, the beginner and this intermediate course, comes with real help from real people in Silicon Valley. Jesse Kasman, wearing the hat on the left. I'm also meeting with him. You can contact him at jkasman@opkey.com. When you contact him, you can either ask for the source code for the lessons. It's free under the MIT license, so you can modify it and use it for whatever you want. Or you can sign up for directed instruction from Jesse, where he will give you assignments.